Hey guys, Driven to Chunk here. We're going to go through Project Diablo 2 Season 9 Anarchy's patch notes, everything that we know up to date. I'll try to make this as fast as possible. The last stream on Senpai Something's channel on Twitch was done today, but it was lost due to technical issues. So there's a couple weekends, a couple Saturdays of spoilers, but we'll start with the one that happened today. I'm going to try to get this video under 10 minutes, so we're just going to go straight through it. What was discussed today? Gold capacity and stash from 5 million to 8 million, max the game can support. Awesome. All characters will always be able to hold 1 million gold, no longer based on character level. So that's great. You'll just be able to not have to dump it in your stash. If you have two sources of half freeze duration on your gear, it counts as cannot be frozen. That's really, really powerful. Pretty badass. I guess it makes sense. Half freeze duration. So if you have two halves, you have a whole. Diamonds are now crafting gems. Prismatic crafts have the tentative values below. I'm not going to read through all of these, but it looks like kind of just a general low res, little defense, more of a defense one. All res, half freeze duration. I guess you put that on two rings. You got cannot be frozen right there in the beginning. Attack speed for belts. That's kind of nice. Attack speed for gloves and attack rating. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all these. You guys can look through it here. All the links will be below as well. Moving on, so past the prismatic craft of the diamonds now. XP gain penalties between level 20 to 25 reduced to lessen need to drop back and progress if underleveled in Act 5. That is nice. Usually people go run Chaos Sanctuary. I know I do. Before going into Act 5, so that shouldn't be as much of a gap now. Inferno skill rework now scales the area of effect of the flamethrower with skill level. Interesting. Inferno and Arctic Blast initial cast speed is now 3 frames, much faster. Arctic Blast did get a rework this season. We'll go over that later. Add curse procs into staffs as potential mods. Amp damage, low res. Interesting. Added lower res procs onto weapon as potential mods. That's awesome. That'd be really good for Vengeance Paladin. Increased elemental damage mods can be spawned on weapons. That's awesome. Also increasing suffix value ranges to be closer to prefix ranges. Interesting. So things like 6% increased lightning damage, blah blah blah. Those ones you can now have a chance to add those on weapons. I don't know if those are. I think those are just basic stats, and those aren't even things that you can slam, because you could obviously slam them before. Added portals to Uber Tristram that have a one-time use portals. Can exit and enter up to 3 times, including after death for softcore players. Work in progress may add these consumable portals into dungeons as part of rework. They're kind of trying to figure stuff out to do with dungeons. Make it a little more fun. I've only ran one once in like season 3, I want to say, if that's right. Anyway, armor-based rework completed. In general, low strength armors will have nerfed defenses. High strength armors will have increased defenses. Okay. Normal armors, most of the same. Ancient armor nerfed to be in line with the rest of normal armors. Exceptional armors, most of the same. Curious and Mage Plate nerfed to be in line with the rest of exceptional armors. Elite armors, big adjustment across the board. Dust Shroud, Worm Hides, Scarab Husk, Wire Fleece, Archon Plate, dropping 6 to 112. Base defense, Hellforge Plate, Lacquer Plate, Shadow Plate, Sacred Armor increased 100 plus defense. Other elites in the middle range of changes. Cool. So they're just trying to balance out between armors to make people invest a little bit more into strength and maybe get those added defenses. Shadow plate strength requirement dropped from 232 to 220. I think that's more reasonable for strength. Be in line with strength scaling based on normal and exceptional. Unsummoning Iron Golem will make the item unused redrop to be picked up. That's crazy. So if you, for some reason, do an Iron Golem out of an Infinity, the Infinity will be redropped, is what I'm gathering. That's pretty insane. Pally Holy Light reworked. If cast on enemies, does magic damage to target at 50% heal, and 50% heal to party and AoE around target. If cast on party, does full heal to the party and 50% damage to monsters in AoE around target. Interesting. Brought back full palette of colors to elite monsters that were previously disabled due to a bug. Nice little bug fix. Attack rating cap has changed from 95% to 100%. Applied to ignore target defense as well. Interesting. Sork teleport buffed. Damage penalty reduced from 65% to 50% base. Reduced by 2% per soft point skill up to level 16 skill. Reduced by 1% per level for level 16 plus skills. Okay. Sork energy shield change no longer has telekinesis synergy. Can max scale through skill points, now caps at 90% damage taken to mana instead of 85%. The max cap also applies to Odyssean's Awakening, Unique Ghost Spear. Interesting. Set items can now roll ethereal. Will result in some to be decided. To be determined balance changes. So I went over that one. That was the reason one from today, lost due to software issues. Let's quickly just go through the other ones up top to try and make this video kind of short. We know league name is Anarchy. It's going to begin April 12th. Open beta April 8th through 10th. Closed beta March 30th through April 7th. Crafting infusions will be staying, but will be Treasure Fallen event exclusive items. Cool. So people who don't know, there's a Crafters League. Crafter infusions are just these little gems, these little consumables that you can put in into your Roderick Cube, and it has all just the crafting from bounty to safety craft to hit power crafts to blood crafts to caster crafts, and it's just instead of gathering materials, just a little gem you put it in your cube with the item you want to craft. And it does it itself. They're really nice. Treasure Fallen loot table changes for the crafting season, i.e. it can drop higher runes. That's nice. Will stay minus puzzle pieces, but will no longer spawn in LOD content. This is a big thing they've worked for melee classes, which I'm really excited to play. Next hit always misses bugs fixed was common with Zeal and other melee attacks. If put into hit recovery, block, etc. Sacrifice self-damage and Holy Sword block would automatically cause this next hit always misses bug. Melee check simplified. We'll do an initial target check to move character within range, and then a secondary range check to be more lenient if the monster has moved after the initial target. Should help with melee targeting. Reduce volume in the main menu music, which I do remember being loud. But I'm pretty sure if you hit Control M, it just mutes it. So mine's been muted for a while. I'm pretty sure it's Control M. Reworked next hit delay to be on par to be on per missile type for caster bases. Reworked next hit delay to be on per missile type for caster bases. This means you can hit you can't next hit delay yourself if you use multiple skills to do damage, i.e. twisters, tornadoes don't delay each other. Okay, that makes sense. And applies to other players' skills in the game. May result in nerfs for skills that relied on damage increase to cover hit delays and or other monster HP increases per player and multiplayer. Gotcha. So that'll be nice for people who play those builds. Necro Poison Dagger got a big buff. Now has a spread mechanic. If a monster dies while poisoned by Dagger, it releases a cloud upon death. And then that also triggers more. So if something else dies from that cloud, it keeps triggering. It looks really cool. Necro Poison Dagger cloud is larger. Increased maximum sprite limit in game. That's awesome. We'll no longer have graphics go invisible when too many is on screen. Shank bug, as well as the invisible declone fire that kills a lot of people. So that'll be nice. It's cool that they did that. Added commands for player statistics, kills, monsters killed, declone kills, kills in maps. That's fun. Just kind of basic stats. I'm not going to go over them. See, top 3 99s, Declone Tier 2 and Rathma Tier 2 all get account-wide auras with lightning effects. All of the 99s and Declone / Rathma Tier 2 will get character-bound aura without lightning. Okay, so one's Super Saiyan, one's not. I got you. Different auras. To be announced changes to dungeon boss farming. Interesting. Skills no longer have a cooldown when in town. Summon quality of life. Okay, cool. When starting a run. All summons are permanent and carry over through games, not ravens or revives, though, unfortunately. Valks will re-roll new armor between games. Iron Golem still undetermined on how that will function. Uber Tristram is no longer a D2GS code. Huh? Now part of the game, will work natively in single player / pluggy and can now fix bugs when seen in Tristram. Not too sure on that one. Uber Tristram house cheese is gone. Players and monsters can no longer go into the houses. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes that was kind of annoying to me, honestly, when they go in there. Pally Charge now hits. Non-name lock monsters would do a ghost attack that would miss if a monster was not name locked. Okay, fixing charge. Standard of Heroes will now only drop from Uber Ancients. No longer drops from Uber Tristram. That's cool. Uber Ancients are cool, but I hope they increase some of the drops for some of those sigils. You need 3 of them in order to unlock it, and sometimes you're just sitting on a bunch of them, and sometimes people just don't want to trade and blah 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 blah. Hopefully maybe that does something. The next spoiler from the next week, this was the previous one. Base density of all maps increased 50%. Reduced density from non-corruption affixes by the same amount. Less map rerolling because base density will be higher floors, same ceiling without corruptions. Basically all a little map buff. Added descriptions to map orbs for base game in case you're not running loot filter. Okay, this is for people that have loot filters. Can filter games by difficulty in game menu. They did a big in-game menu overhaul. Looks really nice. Yeah, here it is. New UI when creating a game. Buttons for selected servers. GS options. And you only have to select the GS option once. You don't have to keep putting it in. So that is very nice. Can only have 1 Iron Golem. It is no longer overridden by other golems and always has a separate minion icon health bar. Interesting. Blood Golems will have open wounds damage per second. Druid Arctic Blast now causes monsters to shatter and have an AoE death. It looks really cool. Reduced delay to re-enter town portals, so they're more instant. Very nice. Removing rune cost requirements for higher tiers of Uber fights to improve accessibility. Cubing the Uber item by itself will cycle between difficulties, so you can just get your whatever visions of terror or whatever for Diablo, Uber Diablo, and just or Diablo clone, declone, and then just change it by cubing it. That's nice. Work in progress, rebalancing defense values in all armors, leaning towards. Okay, they already talked about this down low. Investing, making summon level auto scale to player skill level to prevent snapshot abuse. Okay, so like if you summon shit with like a bunch of plus skilled items or something, they're just trying to make it to be your level. Interesting. Evaluating dungeon improvements. Okay, and that's about it. It's gonna be a 6th season. I'm kind of a hardcore player now. I haven't been making a lot of content, but I did play Crafter League, and that was really fun. I had a summon Necro. I just started with clay golems. Pretty much went through the whole thing. Clay golems and teeth and bone spear. Went through hell, no problem. And then I switched over to fire golem and Skelly mages with lower res, and it's been fun. But I'm excited for this. I'm definitely going to play more of it. I'll be streaming. All the links for these videos, as well as the PD2 mod, will be in the description. And yeah, hope to see you guys in Season 9 Anarchy. Have a good one.